I was gonna redo my eyeliner because I've been scratching the inner corner of my eye, but we just gotta go with it. Hey guys, so that's me right there. I was on Surrounded by Jubilee. Scary. You're probably wondering how I got there. Well, it all started when I got depressed. I've been depressed most of my life. I have dysthymia for all those who are curious about it. I've never really known where to stand on Jubilee videos because I think a lot of people understand, especially the ones in my video. The comments are kind of relieved that there's not people pushing each other and taking chairs out of people. Instead, we were all very much depressed people being very respectful towards each other because we question our own existence within that circle, pretty much. I'm going to dive in on the truth behind being in a Jubilee surrounded video. Hi, everyone, the ones who have seen my stuff already, who are subscribed, who know me. And then hi, people who probably first time seeing me and hearing how I sound. Hi, you're from here. You're probably from my Jubilee video. I'm that blonde, pierced, red eyed person in the circle of surrounded. I'm depressed, diagnosed a long time ago with dysthymia, which means I've been depressed for as long as I can remember. My earliest memories are traumatic. First attempt was in 5th grade. So let's just rip the band-aid off of that. A lot of people on set were lovely that I met. We had our own personal little counselor who was giving us little toys and fidget things and essential oils and all that behind the scenes to help us calm down. We did have to take a couple breaks because all of us are very much mentally ill. So it was a lot to take in. A lot of us had to go to get a fidget toy or get something to help us regulate our nervous system. I was one of those people. So hi. At the end of it, the reason I'm doing this video is because at the end, a couple amazing, lovely people came up to me and kept asking that they wanted to hear my story. Long story short, I got hella triggered, and it's nobody's fault. Very much a nice situation that I was put in. I've never been in a room with so many people who they all just get it. Never been in a room with other people that are actually depressed and actually understand what it means to not want to be here. It's very much comforting and scary, weird and uncomfortable because I very much keep everything inside, and so I felt like every time somebody spoke, it was like my inner thoughts were being spoken out loud, and that really is scary to deal with. I was kind of shutting down. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm trying to not dissociate, but I was very, very much dissociating within my own dark thought. Loved hearing everybody's stories. I had so much to relate to and talk about. So I guess that's what this is about. So here's my story. Here are my opinions. And if you don't care, then like this video before you leave. Thank you. All right. So the first claim is you're not broken. You're just overwhelmed. It took me a long time to come to that conclusion within life because when you're in this mindset 24/7, you just feel like something's wrong with you. Compared to people in my everyday life growing up, nobody understood why I was the way I was. And it just, sometimes feeling that way makes you feel like something's wrong with you, especially if you come from traumatic traumas like me and a lot of people in that circle. Then you can definitely feel like something just cracked. I've come to the conclusion over the years. I used to say I was broken a lot. I think it was just my edgy aesthetic, represent the emos. Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think it's just my emotions now that I'm able to say, hey, I'm just me. And the way I am was meant to be like this. There's nothing missing. It's just I have a special power that nobody else does. It's a blessing and a curse, just like Ollie Skies says in that one song. Just your nervous system kind of overreacting to stuff. That's why you feel overwhelmed. So I definitely agree with that. I think I struggled to agree with that for a long, long time in my life. But now I'm here and I understand that I just get overwhelmed and I have crazy episodes. Next one is hopelessness is a symptom, not a conclusion. But yeah, it's weird because I feel like hopelessness is literally the end of your road type of beat. Is like when an episode gets really, really far out, fall very down, and the hopelessness is just there. There is no other open door. Like it feels like somebody just locked you in a dark room and there's no sunlight, there's nothing, and you just don't want to be there no more. So how do you escape that? It definitely does feel like a conclusion. I guess that's the dangers that come with being depressed. But that's the thing, like when you're in it, you don't see it as a symptom. You see it as that's the final step. That hopelessness is like the end of your road, and the only thing left is to, end that road. I'm glad this video was made because I feel like that's definitely something that people need to know is like if you really feel that lost and that gone, like that's not the end. It may feel like the end. Trust me. I've been near that in that room too many times throughout my life. And so many times I thought that was going to be the end. And, surprise, I'm still here. Heard, it's a symptom, not a conclusion. I just have to remember, like, okay, everything feels horrible. Let's do what we've learned over the years to do and try and figure out how to get out of this room, at least for just one more day. You can be productive and successful while deeply depressed. This one was one that I really wanted to talk about so much because I feel like, especially growing up in a certain type of household, and I feel like so many people can relate to this too. It's like mental health didn't matter as long as my grades were good and I wasn't doing drugs. So maybe the drugs would have helped, respectfully. A lot of school life, I was your basic scholar, straight A's, 4.2 or 4.3 GPA. High school, college, future looking out for me. That was when I was in the most depressed moment of my life, was when I was academically so successful and so great. So nothing could be wrong with me, right? Because I'm doing so great compared to everybody else who's flunking, then you start worrying about it. And people didn't understand that because I was dealing with so much in my head, this was considered an unhealthy coping mechanism, an unhealthy distraction. Now I know that because if I could get this one math question right, my life's good. I kept thinking like I don't need sleep, I don't need to eat, I don't need to take care of myself as long as I finish this homework, as long as I study for this test, as long as I finish this chapter. So I was literally already depressed and also neglecting myself a lot. I felt like neglecting myself was justified because of grades, doing my best to not add to their plate of problems. I was the most sad, the most depressed, doing the worst possible things to myself behind the scenes. One of the worst, I think, when all my grades were the best, is where I was truly at my wit's end, and I don't know how I got here after being in such a horrible, dark, hopeless place for so long. Even though you think they have it all going for them, college scholarships, great GPA, doing this, sports scholarships, doesn't mean shit. Like, people really can be going through the worst of their life. And then the last claim with therapy didn't work for you before. Maybe nothing else will. Maybe something will. For me, it's been a long path of doing, I think it's CPT therapy, the traditional talk therapy, medication. Medication didn't work on me, and I low key kind of just gave up on it. I think I went to so many psychiatrists and they kept misdiagnosing me, not listening to my diagnosis that I've had for so long, and giving me the wrong stuff. So I kind of just gave up on that. Talk therapy is what I'm currently doing, and it's still a battle because it's a whole thing, kind of like relationships. Some therapists just don't get it. It's a whole thing. Like, I've had to literally find somebody I think we click. The longer I'm with them, all of a sudden they like get worse. I also feel like there's so much stuff in the world to help with depression in a way. Like, there's studies happening because it is one of those leading causes. Silent killer. Ooh. But I don't know. I'm hoping that there's something for everyone. Hearing everyone's stories and stuff, I feel like I should be grateful. At least talk therapy has helped me. For me personally, spirituality has helped a lot. Self-love and self-learning and learning why I have stuff. I kind of want to go into people's talks and everything. That really was gorgeous, beautiful. Everyone's brave and speaking their 2 cents. Amazing, gorgeous human beings. A lot of people were talking about how after losing loved ones and all that stuff. I remember one time, I was trying to get some help. And I think this was like, I want to say my second or third therapist. I was talking to him and he started saying about, like, we're talking about me being like hopeless and like maybe there's more people that love me on the other side than there is here. I feel like a lot of people that actually cared for me no longer are here with me. And so we got into that whole discussion of like people that I've lost. And I kid you not, to this day, I'm a little scared to talk about every single person that I've lost because it is a hefty list. After I told that therapist, they cut me off thinking I was done, and I was not done. And then after he exclaimed, after hearing everybody that I've lost, he literally exclaimed, "Oh, I understand why you don't want to be here anymore." Then we had Taylor. I loved everything that they were speaking on. The one thing that like clocked my T that I don't even think they put in the video was when they were speaking, they talked about literally having the scars to prove it. And I low key, I know we didn't talk about it, but I wish we did talk a little bit about it, that like cross section of like, the physical issues that sometimes it can lead to, especially when you have that depression that you just also blame yourself for things on top of it that leads to physical abuse of the body. I wish we could have talked a little bit about that. Leah, I know she was another person that I don't think she talked about it in her episode, but I saw her beautiful comment in the video, and she just talks about also having other diagnosis that you just have to kind of juggle with the depression diagnosis, as well as her being a musician and talent. And I find it so interesting how her and Ian are both musicians, and I feel like that is such, like, I truly do believe in turning your pain into art. I think it's one of the most poetic things to do. And I'm glad that they're both musicians. I know they're in two different headspaces, of course, within their music. If you guys watched the episode, Leah was such a sweet, kind person. Yeah, and I hope she just keeps going up and up. And her literal personality is the nicest, sweetest thing ever. Like, afterwards, talking to her was such a nice, like, comfort. Ian was funny. I love that comedic humor. I feel like I do that a lot. Truly nice time to just laugh, especially when things are getting so weird within the nervous system. Everything he said obviously was serious, but with like a little bit of cracks of humor, which I appreciate and love. Then we had, I think their name is Danny. I hope I'm saying that so right. If I'm not, literally like virtually slap me or step on my toes. But yeah, Danny's story was a unique story, but like everything made sense for them. Obviously, they talked about being a cancer survivor. Thank God, I hope literally the best for their future life and a long, long, healthy life as well. I think I speak for all of us when I say fuck cancer. So hearing their story of literally being diagnosed with it truly is like a wake up call of like, imagine getting that call and like it going through all that. It's a mortality realization, and I think that really does fuck with your head a bit. You don't know if you're going to be here, so it makes sense. Depression just is right around the corner waiting to hop on your back as well. Have a brave face for everybody around you, but like, we will never know the true realities of being in that seat and getting that diagnosis, and not only getting that, but also seeing how it affects your family and then like affects you mentally, and just not knowing your mortality and being now aware of how actually mortal we all are. They probably get this a lot, but inspiring. Congratulations for being such an amazing, brave person, still being here. And bro, I really hope you are living your best life out there. Then I feel like the one that like so many people in the comments are talking about, which is also another crazy impactful story, was Lamar's. So much info in my head just like came out of my head, because I was like, this is what I know about. This is like kind of what I've studied and like been aware of, is just the way that this country treats its military is fucked. Completely, absolutely fucked. These are the people that literally sacrificed their lives for us, literally went into this, and then so many of them come back changed in some way, whether it's mentally or physically disabled in some sort of way, and then the country does so little to reward them. Like, hello, these people just did A, B, and C for sorry, I'm gonna go on a whole rant about how fucked that whole fucking this country system is when it comes to military and veterans, and I don't even want to go into that. His story that really grabbed onto my like heartstrings a lot was the whole situation of sleeping in the closet. That's when that like hit me in my raw core a lot, because the environment I grew up in, I don't know, but like I can relate in an itty bitty fraction of that what seems like the safest place. Like, growing up, I would hide in the closet during really bad situations at home, and at that moment, I would like hide behind the clothes and all that stuff and try and hide and just try and not hear anything. And I got so used to it that it became like a safe space for me when things went down. And then as we moved, I had access to a bathroom with the lock, and that became my safe space. Literally to this day, like, I feel the most safe falling asleep in my bathtub, in a locked bathroom in my bathtub, because of just all the shit that I went through growing up. So hearing him talk about that closet situation, like understanding how that feels like the safest place, really hit like home for me. Everything I have to say, all my 2 cents about being on Surrounded by Jubilee. I'm so happy that our episode is doing an incredible job of like kind of spreading a little bit more of peaceful awareness and not being a toxic YouTube video of people, throwing each other under the bus and not listening to each other. This more peaceful and respectful episode, and hopefully it helps people out there. It was 20 depressed people, but I'm pretty sure there's more of us out there. We just don't talk about it because it's not a fun thing to talk about. I don't talk about it because I feel like I don't want to be a burden. Maybe I should talk about it more. I don't know. Thanks everyone for watching. Comment Depresso Expresso if you've made it through. Don't forget to like this video if you learned anything, enjoyed anything. And also, I'm trying to grow this channel. We're trying to grow a little bit. My goal right now is 200. So yeah, please subscribe so that I can reach my goal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing, lovely day. Thank you, peoples of the internet that decide to watch me for some weird, wacky reason.